Yeah, so yeah, the picture, of course, originated from. So shut the fuck up with that. I know some troll in the comment go say you got that from so so. It's a dope picture. I like it. It is what it is. But this situation is getting kind of, I don't know. Meek Mill back at it with Wale, and honestly, this is what I feel. I think Meek Mill knows something behind the scenes we don't know about. Not just only him and Wale, but the whole MMG as a whole. Because I'm starting to wonder, why is it every time that he goes at Wale neck, it's always you kicked out of MMG. You know what I mean? You gotta think about that. Like, why is it always him saying you kicked out of MMG? Like, first of all, Wale, I doubt he wants your life. I doubt he wants you to lose. And then you call him a fuckboy. I'm not sticking up for Wale. I'm fans of both artists, but I'm just starting to dissect certain things, at the label. Let's look at MMG as a roster, correct? So let's go with Meek Mill dropped 2 albums so far, Wale dropped 3 albums so far, right? We don't want to play the number game, but we understand who sold more records between the two of them. And if you want to talk about consistency, far as hits this year, who has more hits between the two? That's not up for me to decide. That's for y'all. Y'all the fans of these artists. Blah, blah, blah. But I just don't understand the aggression. It's just like, does Meek Mill not know how the music industry works? See, he's fallen into a line of a troll in my sense. Because it's like, you doing shit to get your name in the press, that's bullshit, instead of putting out a fire song. You feel me? It's like if you put out dope music, your name will ring just like the Drakes, the Weekends, so forth and so on. But it just seemed like you want attention for dumb shit, like girl shit. You feel me? I mean, Wale handled like a gentleman. He's cool, calm, and collective. Lord, do I miss the old Wale that would really do a Kanye rant on shit, but it is what it is. I've been said that Ross should come and say something, but what happened when he said something? It was bullshit. He curved a lot of shit, and it is what it is. You feel me? But I guess I'm just not understanding it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, y'all are all under one umbrella, and that's MMG, right? And MMG is under, I think, Atlantic. So Ross is the boss of a record label. What if Atlantic just came and was like, we see what's going on with your roster. One of them got to go. You feel me? I look at it like this. Wale said it a long time ago, and I forget what song it was. They didn't think I could make it in a room full of trappers. Meaning everybody that's basically on a roster is a street nigga, and Wale is the oddball out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can call him the cool nerd or whatever you want to call him. But I'm starting to look at it like that. Like, Meek Mill is kind of, I guess, aggravated because he doesn't feel Wale meets the requirements to be around such an empire, emphasis on that, such as MMG and Dream Chasers, because his music doesn't really, I guess, counterpart with the music they're making. So you see what I'm saying? And to me, if you're going to pick a battle or you're going to pick a fight with anybody, make sure your work ethic and everything you stand for is on par with the person that you is now considering a op. You feel me? Because it's like if you look at Wale last album and Meek Mill last album, we clearly see who has the longevity of an album being played 5 years from now. So I don't really get into all the politics between the bullshit on Twitter, Instagram, and everything like that. Yeah, Meek Mill bipolar as fuck, or I'm backing away from, social media. Then yet you come back and you diss this nigga. Then you got fans willing to throw their whole life away for you over the Wale shit. I seen that shit, and that shit was crazy. And Wale handled it like, a grown up. Like, you really throw your life away and take away from your kids having a parent just to please a nigga you don't even know? Yeah, that makes sense. That's something I would say. But, I mean, this little riff, they might as well just go ahead and do the little back and forth on wax. Keep it music. Fuck it. Ross should stay the fuck out of it now, since when he had the chance to, be the mediator in a sense, he didn't do a good fucking job at it. He should back away from it. Fuck it. You two niggas want to stay on the roster, go back and forth. You feel me? Do it. And at the end of the day, the fans will let you decide who is the victor. Because if not, who cares about this shit? It's about to be a new year. We don't need this. None of this stupid shit that's going on in music now. I don't want this next year in music. It should be about the fucking music. You feel me? I mean, they do it in the pop world, but that shit gets swept under the rug ASAP. But this thing with Meek Mill, obviously he's the fucking problem. Because you look at people that he's kind of going at, it makes you wonder, who is the niggas that he ain't saying that he want to go, go at and say little certain shit. And it's like, nigga, you ain't the realest nigga in hip-hop. You sure ain't the nigga that's making all the power moves, and you sure ain't selling enough records to be on some cocky-ass shit like that. That's how I feel about Meek Mill. Wale, on the other hand, okay, fine. Maybe you have done some jaded shit to him. I'm not going to say you haven't, because you seem kind of like that a slight a nigga, over some petty shit. We all see niggas that do it. I mean, Diddy just admitted that he was basically a bitch nigga when Rockefeller dropped the movie Paid in Full. He was on some sucker shit. So we could probably see that Wale probably did some sucker shit on the back burner that we don't know about, and maybe Meek is just still aggravated about that. You know what I mean? Because we ain't always there around certain circles to see shit. We only see shit in interviews and when niggas post shit. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it's the reason why they doing that. But I think Wale really not worried about it. He not tripping about it. He doing him. Meek is just in a world of fuckery for some reason. I have no clue of why he's doing it. But we still waiting on DC4. And to me, that's it. Like, once you drop that shit and it ain't fire, like, if it ain't the level of what Future is doing with his projects, I can say it's over with. Like, nobody's going to care about you because you spent the whole year, damn near 2015, on social media. I mean, your album came out, but niggas ain't talking about that to this day still. They're talking about the dumb shit you do on social media. So, Meek, if you really care about your career, I would say get focused. You feel me? Get in the studio. If you figure that you ain't working with nobody that you consider a fuckboy, fine. But if you look at the hip-hop industry, how it is now, who really you going to start working with then? That's going to be hot, like 5 years, 10 years from now. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of doing what 50 Cent did when he came in the game and dissed everybody, and then look what happened the later years. He ain't really had nobody to work with, and his music kind of started to suck. As far as Wale, keep doing what you doing. Just know that nobody is perfect. We're all trying to change ourselves each and every day and grow up and grow mentally, well as being a better human being. I understand that because we all have our flaws, and who knows what the fuck he was on when he was, indulging in certain substances he probably shouldn't have no business, indulging in, and he probably done shit back then around this nigga Meek that we don't know about. But other than that, I mean, at least he sometimes can claim when he's wrong. You know what I mean? Because he does have that fucking Kanye complex, like, oh, I'm the god and nobody can see me and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he toned that down, the arrogance. But he can out-rap Meek Mill any type of day. You feel me? So it really couldn't be no rap battle because we see who the fuck will win. But it's more on a personal level that something happened with these two that we really don't know. And I think that some outlet, rather you have to pay these two niggas to sit in a room together to hash that out, it should happen. Because at the end of the day, I really want to know this is second fucking time going at this nigga. First time it was over, he didn't tweet an album, fine. This time it's just over some other shit, and you mad because the shit he said about Drake and you and your battle, and it wasn't even nothing bad. He just said you brought, you know what I mean, that to a fight, and it was the truth. Like, you have to accept me, you lost that battle, get over it. You dig? But this is my thoughts on it. I didn't want to talk about the shit, but it's just like, it's 50-50, man. Who you siding with? It ain't even a side. Like, who's wrong and who's right? It's always a right and a wrong in a situation. Who's wrong and who's right? Don't be on no other shit. It's not about no dumb shit. The music has to speak for itself. And right now, Wale is killing it. 1.